great state of South Carolina. Senator Lindsey Graham is
Go
here.
Tigers, go Gamecocks, go everybody.
We've had a great year.
Out there. Just go.
National championship in every sport.
Unbelievable. Some in the water.
What does this mean for 2018? Does it mean anything, the special election?
Well, you had Price win by 20-something points.
Tom Price, who had the seat.
Trump won by 1.5. He got basically Clinton's vote. So the question is, can Karen build the coalition that Tom Price did? It's going to be Hollywood versus Georgia. I like Georgia's chances. And I'm going to that. Karen, I'll come and help you if you think I can.
Apparently,
2 hours
outside
away.
forces donated something like $8 million to his contest, but he did not live in his own district, which he ran
He's
for.
supporting his girlfriend, which is a great American value. He probably needs to move. The bottom line is I think it will be the liberal left versus mainstream Georgia. I like her chances. She's probably the best candidate we could have chosen out of 11. She's a solid conservative, handles herself really well. It's an important race, but I tell you, I live in the South, live in South Carolina. Things are changing in South Carolina. It's a conservative place. Things are changing in Georgia. But the country's getting right of center, not the right ditch, not the left ditch.
Why is that even legal to run, to represent constituents that you don't even live with? You don't understand their needs.
Georgia.
Oh, that's a South Carolina joke,
That's
isn't
not
it?
fair.
Just Georgia.
So let's talk about getting things back on track on the Hill. Congressman out. The president had that health care defeat. He's trying to put it back together. He's got a tax reform deal he's trying to put together.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, his Treasury Secretary is saying, well, it might take a little longer than we expected. Where are both of those issues right now?
Well, number one, I think we dodged a bullet with health care. I'm not so sure the House bill would have done much better fixing Obamacare. It'd probably Obamacare light, some people say. I would let it collapse because it will. It's so poorly designed. I would tell the Democrats, you created this mess, let me help you fix it. I think Republicans and Democrats should work together to fix Obamacare. That would be good. When it comes to taxes, we better cut your taxes or we'll pay a price in 2018. If you can't get all Republicans on board for a tax idea, then we're going to have to maybe marry it up with infrastructure, where some Democrats will come to the table on infrastructure.
What does the calendar look like for those of us that are not in Congress? You come back on what day?
We go back Monday.
Okay, and then you have to make sure the government doesn't shut down, so you'll be working on that.
So
and then when do you take a recess for summer?
Okay, this is good. So we got to fund the government.
Yeah.
Government shut down bad, right?
Right.
We got to raise the debt ceiling. Don't want to default, bad. We got to do all that. We got to cut your taxes, reform health care, and everybody in your business gets breathless about the pace of things. The only thing anybody will remember in 2018 and 2020 is, did we do good or not? So I want a tax bill that will help the economy. I want to reform health care in a way that's better than Obamacare. I don't have a deadline other than getting it right.
Sure.
Well, the American people do have a deadline. With all due respect, people are wondering why you guys are taking so much time off.
Time off?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people glad we're not in session.
But
A lot of people get depressed.
But now we're hearing tax reform might not happen by, everyone was saying August. Now we're hearing it's not going to be August.
It doesn't matter whether it's August, this year, or next year.
But it does to the American people, to the taxpayers.
What matters is, do we improve the tax code to help you at home? Are your taxes lower? Do you have more wages coming into your paycheck? Is there more money in your pocket? Is it easier to get a doctor? Are the costs going down versus going up? This is the big stuff. To President Trump, take your time.
Big stuff on the world stage as well. Big national security challenges. North Korea, Syria, now Iran under the radar last night.
Yes.
Secretary of State, the media
Big
narrative
deal.
has been that Rex Tillerson is sort of this accidental, bumbling Secretary of State. He put together a pretty strong letter last night.
I am like the happiest dude in America right now. We've got a president and a national security team that I've been dreaming of for 8 years. So in 80 days, he's done more to correct the world, President Trump, than Obama did in 8 years. We sent a letter to our good buddy, the Ayatollah. Hey, knock it off. You've got this Iranian nuclear deal. You may be complying with it, but you're also destroying the Mideast. You're the largest state sponsor of terrorism. You captured our sailors against international law, humiliated them. You're firing missiles in violation of UN resolutions, where even the Russians voted for. So we're putting you on notice. If you continue this behavior, we're going to reimpose sanctions for your state sponsorship of terrorism and all the upheaval you're responsible for outside the nuclear agreement. To me, that has been music to my ears. Iran is running through the Mideast. They're toppling every government they can get their hands on. North Korea, if I were Kim Jong-un, whatever his name is, I would listen to Mike Pence. The fact that the Vice President of the United States went to the DMZ, looked across the way and said, we're watching you. Donald Trump is not going to let this nut job in North Korea get a missile to hit America. And if I were North Korea and China, I'd start thinking anew about the President of the United States.
Before you go, about a year ago, you and Donald Trump were not great friends.
Oh,
but
absolutely.
Now he's president of the United States. What's your relationship like?
He calls. I'm really pleased what he's done to rebuild our military, to restore our standing. I want to cut taxes and reform health care. He's got the best national security team I've seen since I've been in government. I am all in. Keep it up, Donald. I'm sure you're watching. Don't let these guys talk you out of being tough, because you need to be tough.
Senator, you want to get him back right now? You want to release his cell phone number?
Oh, no, he's in the book. Just look, White House.
Lindsey Graham, the self-described happiest dude in America. That's what
Happiest
you just
dude
said.
in the. I got a commander-in-chief that's taking the fight to our enemies. Nobody wants a war, but I'm telling you right now, you cannot allow North Korea to get a missile to hit the American homeland. He's not going to do that. Iran and Russia need to be put back in a box. Mr. President, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. We're going to rebuild the military. Use it wisely.
Very good.
We appreciate it. Thanks
Lindsey
so much.
Graham, thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Thanks for
Wowee.
representing South Carolina, too.
Thank you.
Go Gamecocks, right?